Hey kids! Welcome to episode 109 of Nintendo Unleashed. This is BlizzKick's weekly Nintendo podcast. I am back. I've had a tiny baby mini hiatus, and I'm here with Connor.
Hi there.
And this week, we will be talking about our impressions of Zelda, how Zelda and the Switch have been performing at market so far, as well as some new details on some wacky characters and some wacky new Nintendo games. And we think it's pretty wacky. But of course, as always, we're going to start off by talking about what we've been playing throughout this past week. So, Connor, I'll let you get started.
I've been playing Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk about that in the Zelda opinion section.
Yeah.
I've been playing this visual novel that I got for review called Chrono Clock, which is about this guy that finds a pocket watch and he can throw it on the ground and smash it, and time rewinds by 5 minutes. But so basically, he just keeps any memories he made in those 5 minutes, but other than that, they're completely erased from time. And he can only do that once an hour. So it's a weird time travel type thing, because normally you have the issue of paradoxes, but I don't really see how you could get a paradox going in this. Because, basically he just has memories of the future, which, I guess in itself would be a paradox, but that's how the world works, I guess.
That's fun.
I also played the Snipper Clips demo on Switch, and I thought it was going to be longer, and I'm really sad because I could barely convince my brother to play that demo, and it's boring solo, and I don't think I'll ever find anyone else to play it with. So, because it doesn't have online for some stupid reason in 2017. So,
say cheese.
Oh, jeez. So, yeah, that sucks. Thanks, Nintendo, for not having online.
Brilliant move.
In your multiplayer game when you're charging for online in the future. Thanks. I also played Love Live, and I think that is it.
So they need to bring that to Switch still. That hasn't happened yet.
Well, we always joke about, this is kind of unrelated, but we always joke about that Nekopara Wii U port. We actually haven't joked about that in a long time. But Nintendo's indie guy, I forget his name,
Damon
guy
Baker.
who hosted, him. He said if a game's on Steam, then it should be on Switch. So Nekopara Switch confirmed.
It's a candidate. There we go.
Yeah, it is now possible.
So, let's get that change.org going. So I, of course, have also been playing Breath of the Wild, and we'll get into that later. And I also played the Snipper Clips demo. And I played it with some friends at school. Now, for me, I think I'm going to buy it because, like I said, for me, it's perfect for school because my lunches aren't that long. They're only half an hour, but in the last 10, 15 minutes, it would be fun to just play tabletop mode, play a couple levels with friends, because I had a great time playing the demo with them. So I'll probably buy it. I don't think I want to buy it just yet because I'm still really focused on Zelda, but I enjoyed that demo as well. And nothing else for me. I'm hoping that next week I'm going to a friend's house and I'll be able to try out 1-2 Switch, but currently just Zelda and Snipper Clips, so good stuff. Anyway, so I'll go quickly through this. Actually, I don't want to go quickly because there's actually a lot here for the Switch on this week's Nintendo download. So original eShop titles, there are two. There's Blaster Master Zero, which is sort of like a reboot/reimagining of the NES series from Inti Creates. I believe those guys are I think they're a pretty great studio, right? Didn't they do Mega Man 9 and 10, I believe?
I think so.
As well as Gunvolt, Azure Striker Gunvolt. So
I keep wanting to say they did DuckTales, but that was way forward.
So yeah, I've heard good things about this release. I guess if you have enjoyed those original titles, maybe pick it up. And seeing as it's, much lower graphical intensity, you could probably get some good battery life out of it. Also on the Switch eShop, Voez, which is a rhythm game. And it's the first game for Switch which cannot be played in TV mode. It's just purely handheld mode game. That's because it's relies very heavily on the touchscreen for its controls.
Too bad Tyler's not here. He loves that game.
Yeah, because isn't it also? Does he have it on Android? I think it's also on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also on iPhone.
Okay, nice.
Is it free to play on Switch? Because it's free to play there.
No, it's $25, but you get everything.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they probably just took out the microtransactions.
Yeah.
So
I guess if you really like rhythm games,
yeah, it's kind of different because like what you're doing is there's like it's kind of like Guitar Hero where there's like sections falling and you have to hit in the specific section, but you have to move the section to be able to hit it. It's kind of hard to explain. It makes sense if you watch it.
Yeah, so you're kind of like moving pieces around, and that way it kind of reminds me a little bit of, I don't know if you ever played Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy.
No.
Yeah, so there's like some movement of tracks going on in that. It also kind of reminds me of DJ Hero, because that game.
Oh, maybe that would have been a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to try it though, it's free on mobile phones. So.
Yeah, I'll probably give it a shot there, and if I like it, I'll pick it up. Even though
I didn't really like the music, so I'm
not
going to pay $25 for a rhythm game I don't like the music too.
Yeah, it's definitely a big determining factor.
Even though the gameplay was pretty fun.
And so we thought Virtual Console might not be coming for a while, but there's actually, oh, actually no, wait, these are not technically Virtual Console, but it says they're faithfully reproduced iterations with extra features included. So they're not technically Virtual Console, but there's a bunch of Neo Geo games, all for $8 each. King of Fighters 98, great game. Metal Slug 3, I'll probably pick that one up. I love Metal Slug in the arcades. Waku Waku 7, apparently that is a fighting game. World Heroes Perfect, Shock Troopers, and Nom 1975.
I'm going to have to pick that one up just based on its title.
Good stuff. Of course, the Snipper Clips demo is still available. I don't know why that's listed because it was already on there. Blaster Master Zero is also on the 3DS, which...
Isn't it new 3DS?
Don't think so. I think it's
in the Nindy Showcase. They said it's new 3DS and Switch exclusive.
All right, this listing must be incorrect then. So new 3DS then.
I can check right now. If they don't show up on standard 3DS eShop, right?
I think actually haven't. I really don't know. I think it might show up, but it'll say like, "Oh, this is new 3DS only."
Okay. Well, I'll just search for Blaster Master in this.
Okay.
Hey.
Anyway, we also have Mini Sports Collection, which is reminiscent of an upcoming 3DS title. This one's $5, so who knows? Maybe this will be the better deal. I personally doubt it.
Does it say what sports are included?
Let's see. We have it's 12 sports. So we have table tennis, pro wrestling, rugby. That's the only ones it says here, but I would imagine they're all rather surface level. Who knows?
Hopefully, there's horse racing.
And compete with whatever that game's called. I honestly don't remember. Mario Superstars or something.
No, it's Mario Sports Superstars.
So on new 3DS eShop, a great new title from RC Mad called Pink Dot Blue Dot. So it's described as a score chasing screen tapper.
And Blaster Master is on the standard 3DS.
Okay, nice. So more options there.
Okay. Hold on, I'll just check Binding of Isaac and see if that gives the same option.
On Wii U eShop, Blue Color Astronaut, which is I guess it's a cute name. Has physics-based mechanics and plenty of variety, which sounds like it might be interesting. And to me, this
Binding of Isaac won't work at all.
Okay, so yep, there you have it. Blaster Master is on.
Could have sworn he said 3DS exclusive.
You know, I thought that as well until I saw it. Maybe there's another game maybe there was another indie game on there that's new 3DS only. You know. Or, new 3DS and...
Yeah, and in the show notes, which I wrote while watching it, it says Blaster Master Zero, 2-player, cameos, new 3DS and Switch exclusive March 9th.
Huh. Interesting.
Weird.
Anyway, on Wii U Virtual Console, Bomberman 64.
The better of the Bomberman games this month.
I don't know why they didn't just put that on Switch, because I certainly would have bought that over Super Bomberman R at $50. Assuming I could use the Joy-Cons, because it's probably, I'm sure it's just as good of a game, if not better, and it's certainly a lot cheaper. But I'm certainly not going to buy it on a Wii U. So I guess it's a nice option though. But it's just again, why release it on Wii U when you just released a brand new Bomberman game? I don't know. That's it for this week. Pick of the week. I mean, I would rather have to give it to Blaster Master or Voez.
I'm gonna have to give it to Nom 1975.
Oh, no, 1975. Yeah, good one.
Based on title alone.
Good stuff, folks. So, anyway, moving on. I'd mentioned earlier that there were some interesting character choices. Now, I'm not too familiar with what went down in Mario Sports Superstars this week, but I'm sure you can run that down for us.
So the game, I think it's out in Europe. It comes out next Friday in North America. I don't know why they didn't release it on Mario Day, but whatever. Anyway, so the embargo lifted and the unlockable characters were revealed to only be Metal Mario and Pink Gold Peach. So,
yay.
And Toad's not even a captain. So if you want to play as Toad, you need to play baseball or soccer, and he can't be a team captain. So no Toad in your golf, tennis, or horse racing.
That's interesting.
There's quite a few sidekicks, I think they're called. There's like Toad, the various Koopa colors, various Magic Koopa, various Bros. I think Spike. There's quite a lot of
Spike, everyone's favorite Mario character.
Hey, Boney Goomba.
Oh, nice. That's interesting. I don't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, he's in some of the new Super Mario Bros. I think 2 and Wii. In the castle levels, there's just skeleton Goombas. I mean, 2 and U, not 2 and Wii. But
right.
Anyway, so yeah, this game has 3 Marios in its playable captains with Mario, Baby Mario, and Metal Mario. Then it has everyone's favorite character, Pink Gold Peach.
Mm-hmm.
And
glad Nintendo listened to the feedback on her.
Yeah, I don't really get what's with Nintendo lately. Like, on one hand, sure, like I could see in Smash putting Dr. Mario, Rosalina, and Dark Pit. No, Lucina, not Rosalina. Because Smash characters take a lot more effort making sure they're all balanced and creating movesets. So I can kind of see the clones with like slight differences there. Mm-hmm. But in like Mario Kart or Mario Sports Superstars, why do we need to put filler in the roster?
Right, because all the I mean, obviously, aside from like some slight handling differences, it's not like the characters are like obviously there's new animations and stuff, and sure, like obviously Metal Mario and Gold Mario are going to have the same animations, but it, just this is not from a game developer's perspective, but it would seem that it would be easier to add a new Mario Kart character than a new Smash character by a long shot.
Yeah, and like so instead of putting like 20 baby characters, I was kind of sounded like maybe I was complaining earlier about Baby Mario being playable. I'm fine with characters like Baby Mario, Baby Luigi, Peach, Wario, Bowser, and DK because they were created in Yoshi's Island. They actually existed elsewhere, but I just hate Baby Daisy and Rosalina because they were created specifically as like roster filler, basically. So if you took like say the original Mario Kart 8, that was missing like Bowser Jr., Dry Bones, Birdo, King Boo, kind of. He's not really. Petey for some reason. Like it was missing a ton of kind of series staple characters, but then had a bunch of filler characters, and then even the DLC we got Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach and Dry Bowser. So I just don't really see what the point of all this filler is when I'm sure they could have made a character like put in Bowser Jr. instead of 2 of those or something.
Right.
Instead of Metal Mario and Pink Gold Peach, just put Bowser Jr. I'm sure the time wouldn't take that much longer.
I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, but I guess it's like for them, I guess they think, oh well, this won't affect sales of the game, so it's
Yeah, I mean,
decided that it's not vital. But at the same time, it kind of you're right, it feels lazy, and it's like it just doesn't feel normal, you know.
like my favorite Mario sports game is I think it's called Superstar Sluggers, the baseball game on Wii, and I think that's entirely because the roster is so huge and has like it has Funky Kong, Tiny Kong, the Piantas, the other guys. They start with N from Mario Sunshine, I think. The little
Ooh,
shell
I know what you're
balls.
talking about, but I forget what they're called.
Yeah, it just has like a ton of characters. The stats are all slightly different for everyone, but like if you want to play an all-around character, you don't have to stick with Mario. If you want like a heavy character, you have choices besides DK, Bowser, and Metal Mario.
Right.
You can choose like King K. Rool or Funky Kong, or I feel like there's someone I'm missing. But anyway, you don't just you can make like the perfect team really. But
Yeah.
then these, and also we kind of glossed over, but Gold Mario is confirmed to be playable in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. However, Nintendo also glossed over him in their announcements, so
Mhm.
clearly
How did we find out that we unlock him by doing the 200cc? Was that in some kind of press release or what was it?
they uploaded a trailer
Oh,
to
okay. Oh,
YouTube.
I saw the trailer. I just forgot that specified that.
Yeah, and then the trailer basically outlines all the different or new features, I guess. And at one part, it talks about the new characters, and he's nowhere near there. He's like
Hmm.
right at the end. It's all like and beat. Oh, oh no, sorry, that wasn't a press release, but you can see Gold Mario in the trailer doing like a flip or something. But yeah, that was in the press release. How you unlock him?
Okay. So yeah, as a whole, I think at the end of the day, we agree it's kind of stupid. Um, and I mean, like, and like, there's not much to say. It's just kind of frustrating, right? Like, who knows if it'll get better?
Yeah, like,
Um,
and it makes. I think it's why they're doing kind of collection. Like they kind of died down making sports games, and now this collection is like the first one aside from Mario Tennis Ultra Smash in a few years.
hmm,
So I think they're kind of trying to trim down because like no one's gonna buy a worse baseball game than the one on the Wii. And
right.
unless they do the same character roster plus add probably like Rosalina, maybe Cranky Kong, that'd be kind of funny.
Hmm,
Uh, the Koopa Kids, I don't know. They'd have to like add on to that basically for it to be better.
right.
And then even like the soccer portion, it doesn't have the charm that the Mario Strikers games have. And then horse racing is like the only one that's not that I don't even know if it's worth it, but it's
Right. I mean, at least the horses have like cute original designs. Like, clearly, there's some effort put into that, you know. And so
yeah, but like I mean, it's not worse than a previous
right.
iteration
Yeah.
or just the exact same thing you might have already bought on 3DS even because golf
Hmm.
and tennis have 3DS games. So
Right.
yeah, it's just weird that Mario has like such a huge cast of characters. Plus, you can bring in characters from the Yoshi and Donkey Kong franchises because they're pretty much the same
Right.
world. And then they keep doing like these tiny rosters and adding like you don't want Mario, but you want Mario. Well, you can have Metal Mario, even though he was just a power up in Mario 64, but suddenly he's his own character.
Yep.
He's put Dr. Mario in.
Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. Especially in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you could see his little stethoscope flapping in the wind.
I'd much rather Dr. Mario over Gold Mario or Metal Mario because those are or Cat Mario because those
Hmm.
are just power ups. They shouldn't be separate characters.
Right. Whereas Dr.
That's
Mario is like kind of a character of his own, a little
that's
bit.
like in the next Smash game, them announcing, and now Fire Mario is playable.
Wow.
And then everyone's all like, Fire Mario, yes! and then we get a 2-hour Game Explain discussion on if the Fire Mario costume will be changed and what it will be changed to. Okay, moving on.
Yep. It's just exhausting to think about. It's like, it's so stupid, but like you said. So Gold Mario, we already talked about, right? But as for the Switch, right, I mentioned earlier we were going to sort of talk about the performance because the Switch is doing, I mean, at least from what it seems like here, it seems like it's doing pretty well. And Zelda seems like it has a pretty good attach rate as well. So from this report, we found out that the Switch had better first-day sales than, or at least in the Americas, for any system in Nintendo's history. I'm not sure if that's specifically for home console, but regardless, that's great. Specific sales figures were not given for the Switch, just that comparison. And we found out that the Switch version of Breath of the Wild was the best-selling launch title for any Nintendo console. It kind of surprised me that it beat Twilight Princess because I feel like there was a ton of hype for that game on the Wii as well. But hey, it's good.
Twilight Princess wasn't even their previous best-selling though.
Oh, it wasn't? Wow.
The previous best-performing launch title on a Nintendo console, as for launch day specifically, was Mario 64.
And yeah, this beat that, and Mario Kart 64, obviously that's a game people hold in very high esteem. So that's good news for Breath of the Wild. I imagine, hopefully, that momentum. I
actually would have expected Wii Sports to have been number one because it was a pack-in game.
Right. I mean,
with their previous best-selling console.
Right. I mean, like, does it just not count, or maybe because they didn't sell as many Wiis? That's like, do you think they sold more copies of Breath of the Wild than they did Wiis initially? Is that what it's implying, or because maybe they don't count Wii Sports because it's bundled? I don't know. But yeah, regardless, it's still number one. And if it beat Wii Sports, if they're counting Wii Sports, that I think that makes it even more impressive.
And also, from Japan, I didn't write it down. I forgot to. I think Breath of the Wild's attach rate was like 58%. I want to know what the hell those other people are buying.
Right. I mean, aside from, it's kind of incredible, right? Like, maybe for some people, 1-2 Switch is a system seller, but it doesn't seem like it would be for like half of people who buy the system.
Yeah, like I could see thinking 1-2 Switch is worth the $50 or whatever it is in Japan, but not worth $350 because that's if you're only getting 1-2 Switch, you're basically paying $350 for it.
Right. And I would imagine, I
guess I am Satsuna.
Yeah. It's just, I guess you're right. I mean, and it's possible that some other people could be buying it, but they maybe don't want Zelda, but they know they're going to want like Splatoon 2 and Mario Odyssey when those games comes out, and they want to like secure one. But that's still a lot of people,
Yeah.
And I doubt that many people would buy one just for the Splatoon test fire. I mean, I'm sure some people would, but not that many. So it seems kind of weird, but regardless, still good attach rate. You would just expect it to be a bit higher, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think that's it from that report. And similarly, specific sales for Breath of the Wild were not given. So again, it was just comparisons to previous titles, but still pretty impressive. Hopefully we'll get figures soonish. Anyway, so now, as we mentioned earlier, we're going to sort of dive into some of our impressions for, Zelda. And I'll be able to talk about some of my Switch stuff as well. I have quite a few Switch woes, but also some good stuff.
We should just preempt this with, while we're not going to give plot spoilers, we might be giving like world spoiler. Like, I don't really know what the term would be for it.
I guess like area spoilers or environmental spoilers.
Yeah, like we're not gonna say like, oh, I really liked when I beat this place and then all of a sudden cutscene happened and this happened. No, I'm not gonna.
Ganon killed me, guys.
I went to Hyrule Castle immediately and got killed. Right. Actually, that's probably what.
Yeah, that's actually very possible.
That's probably what a lot of people did. Yeah. They probably didn't even make it to Ganon. They died outside.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if you don't want, actually, let's talk about Switch first. So then if they don't want to hear anything about Zelda, they can leave.
Sure. Yeah. So, so hardware. I guess just hardware impressions for me. So I didn't get to talk about it last week because I wasn't on, but now I'll be able to basically spill all my
We didn't.
thoughts.
Switch wasn't out last week when we did
Oh,
it.
it wasn't out when you recorded. Okay, my
Yeah, we
bad.
recorded Thursday.
Oh, so okay, this will be the first ever impressions on the podcast. So, I guess I'll talk about the 3 modes. That seems like the most logical progression. I'm gonna start what I think has been the best. I think handheld mode has been excellent. Um, Breath of the Wild looks really, really good on that screen. It's so amazing seeing a game that big after playing on the 3DS for like 6 years. The grip, or not the grip, but like it definitely felt a bit uncomfortable first, just because it's such a different grip from what I'm used to. But I'm slowly getting used to it, and I think by no means it's uncomfortable, just very different. Reaching for the capture button, I still find to be a bit weird, but aside from that, everything feels fine from past systems. But like I said, I'm getting used to that as well. Tabletop mode, I like a lot. A lot of people I've seen complaining that they find the screen to be too small to be enjoyed, but that has personally not been an issue for me. I played it on a kitchen counter. I played it on like the lunch tables at school. I played it on like desks at school. So I played it on a number of settings, and it's been good for all of those. The only multiplayer I've done is snipper clips. Obviously, the big question is whether it'll be enjoyable for Mario Kart. I really hope it is, because that's the thing I'm kind of the most excited about. And so that's good. Works great with headphones. Unfortunately, you can't charge while playing in that mode because the USB-C port is under. That's kind of strange, but at least you can charge in handheld mode. So, whatever. Battery life hasn't really been an issue for me so far, just because I've been charging it pretty much at every opportunity. It's interesting. I think TV mode is where it shines. I mean, yes, it looks great on the handheld, but I personally think the game is even more beautiful on my TV. But my Joy-Con is very, very bad. All those Joy-Con left issues, I was so worried about, and I guess rightfully so, because mine, I can't sit more than about 6 feet away from my TV without terrible interference issues. If you look at my Twitter, I posted a video where I hold down the left on the control stick for a good 5 seconds, and it just doesn't move. And there was a time where I wasn't doing anything, and he just moved for like a solid 2 seconds in that direction. It's very bad. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I have some kind of interference. So, okay, well, there's a Chromecast on my TV, so I unplugged it, and that didn't help it at all. If anything, it made it worse. There's no aquarium anywhere near my TV. We have an aquarium in our house, but it's nowhere near the TV, so I would sure hope that's not interfering. Our router's nowhere near the TV. It's like there is pretty much no potential for interference, so I don't know what's happening. I think it has to be a hardware defect, so I'm going to get that sent in for repairs. But aside from that issue, the TV play has been great. Some people said they've been having issues from Wi-Fi. Luckily, that hasn't been a problem for me. So mostly it's been great. Aside from that Joy-Con L issue, if that can get fixed, then honestly, it's really, really good for me. But that's currently a pretty striking issue. So at the moment, I'm kind of leaning positive. I'm probably going to end up buying I'm thinking I'm going to end up inevitably buying a Pro controller. So I may as well get one now for the best Zelda experience, but still pretty annoying. Anyway, that's kind of it for my hardware impressions.
I just have 2 things.
Okay.
So, one, I really, even after like a week, I still hate the L and R buttons. Mm-hmm. The ZL and ZR are fine, but I don't know. I think they're too small, or too skinny, I mean.
Yeah, I agree, they're definitely awkward. Have you heard from people using the Pro Controller? I don't know what they're like on there. It seems like they're at least bigger.
No, I haven't heard anything. And also the strap thing for the Joy-Cons.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot to mention that.
When to get it off, it feels like you're gonna break something.
Uh-huh.
So like on one hand, it's nice that it's really snug, but I mean, it's not like it really matters because it's not gonna fall off anyway.
Right, and it's not like if it hit the ground, it would be bad. It's like a piece of plastic that probably costs less than $1 to manufacture, so it's
Yeah. But getting it off, I mean, one, there's like a lock that it's hard to even tell it's there unless you know it's there. And then two, I'm not even sure if you have to push the Joy-Con button thing to get it off, like the button that you hold to get the Joy-Con off the Switch tablet.
Right.
I don't know if you have to push that or not, but just getting it off, it feels like you're gonna like rip off the side of the Joy-Con along with it.
Additionally, I haven't done this, but what I've heard is that it's easy to like put it on backwards and it doesn't resist being put on.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
haven't done it
pretty
either.
awful. Yeah. So I actually haven't even tried to attach them yet, just because of how much bad stuff I've heard. I'm not even going to bother. I played snipper clips with them held sideways, and it felt fine. I doubt I'm ever going to put those on unless I buy arms, which I might not even buy. So it's kind of a pretty terrible accessory.
I feel Mario Kart might be
Oh
a
yeah,
little
it might
troublesome to
actually be
use,
good with Mario Kart.
just because of the smaller button.
I just wonder if
button.
Nintendo ever makes a revised version where it's not garbage.
But yeah, luckily, also I don't think I told this on Unleashed yet, but I didn't get a Switch, but my brother did, and he said he's letting me play when he's not home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably be taking a lot longer to do Zelda stuff than Arms and Noah. Actually, I'm not sure about Arms because he only has like half an hour a day or something. So, and you can get pretty busy too. So actually, I don't know.
We might be pretty tired. We all have busy or interesting circumstances where we probably will take a while to beat it. But don't expect a lot of spoiler talk from us. Basically.
Yeah, it'll be a while. You'll probably be done by the time we get to where you are. But yeah, so I didn't go back on I'm not getting a Switch. My brother got one, so it's not mine. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna be slow.
Right.
And yeah, so I guess now, if you want to be 100% spoiler free for Zelda, one, go read our Spoilers Really That Bad article, because if you're leaving at this point, you desperately need to read that article. And two, now is when you should leave. We will not be discussing plot spoilers.
Yeah.
Even like, I don't think anyone should be upset about anything that I plan on talking about, at least. I don't know about what you plan.
I'm definitely similar.
So I think we should be fine unless you want to discover the world 100% yourself, in which case you probably didn't click on a video which probably has Zelda in the thumbnail and title.
And like I said, we will not be discussing, just to reiterate, no story specifics.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I have nothing. I mean, I do have one story thing, but it's kind of how the story's told, and I think most people know about that already, or they haven't played it and don't care because they're So I think everything I have is fine, but yeah, leave now if you don't want Zelda spoilers. You can go on Twitter if you want to see the poll results that bad and don't want Zelda spoilers. So yeah, Noah. You can go first.
Cool. So this game has been an emotional roller coaster for me so far. So I started on the Great Plateau. I absolutely loved the Great Plateau. I mean, I'm pretty sure I explored pretty much every nook and cranny. I got all 3 of the treasure chests, because there's 3 of them, right? For the bonus thing, like the
I have no
expansion.
idea. My brother didn't buy that, so I wasn't paying attention.
I believe it's 3, and assuming it's 3, I found all of them. I mean, I had to look, but it wasn't terribly difficult.
Plateau is pretty small.
Yeah. So I found those. Found the Nintendo Switch shirt. I don't think that's a spoiler. And I really, I mean, it was just really fun. Like I love climbing. Once I really appreciated getting the glider, because that makes getting down places a lot easier. I really enjoy the combat. I think the game is beautiful. It looks and sounds beautiful. Most of the puzzles have been great, with the exception of one I'm going to talk about in a minute here. Just in general, very positive. Now, I still have a long ways to go. I haven't done, aside from basic introduction stuff, I haven't really done much in the way of story. I haven't made my way to the first major town yet. I've encountered plenty of stables, but I haven't. At this point, I've just been doing shrines and kind of exploring, doing side quests, that kind of thing. But as for that puzzle, which I was not a huge fan of, so it was a shrine, and I forget what it was called, but essentially you had this. It was kind of like golf. You have this ball, and very far away you have a platform with a hole in it, and you have to activate. It's very okay. This is not a puzzle spoiler. It's the most obvious thing in the world. You have to activate stasis on the ball, and then hit it into the hole. Okay. The first one is not easy because it's pretty much just a straight shot. Might take you 2 or 3 times. No big deal. There's a little puzzle in between that to get to the end. It's very easy. I'm not going to spoil it, but now once you get past that second puzzle, you have the option to either just end the shrine or go for the last treasure chest, right, which contains like a optional item. So the essentially what you have to do, it's a similar idea to the first thing where you have this ball and you have to activate stasis and shoot it into a hole. But what's really frustrating this time around is that there are sort of a number of pillar like obstacles in your way. And it's not like they're on the sides of the map, like they're pretty much littered throughout the middle. So they are very annoying to avoid. And you might think, okay, well, it's kind of trial and error, right? It's not that bad. I mean, you figure, hey, so what if it takes a few times, right? This is not a game you're going to beat easily. However, you have to use a sledgehammer or just in general a weapon. And at each of those new events, you're given a sledgehammer. However, after about 4 or 5 attempts, they break. And so you have to like completely restart the shrine once that happens. And it is, let me just tell you, it's very annoying it's just such a tedious process, I feel, to have to restart that. Like, I feel like the point of experimentation should be not having to worry about, those long load times and that kind of thing, but like that aspect of it is very frustrating to me. Like if I was provided with an endless supply of sledgehammers, each time one broke, I would have no issue with it. But it just feels like that shrine had a big inconsistency. There's a big inconsistency between that idea between experimentation, but there's that big factor limiting you. So that was very frustrating to me. But luckily, after that aforementioned trial and error and some asking on Twitter, and I watched a YouTube video of it, I was able to get it. So that's behind me now, and now I'm enjoying the game quite a bit more. I love the combat. I've died so many times, but in general, I love it. For me, honestly, the most frustrating part of the game has been the Joy-Con, and that's not the game's fault. So, that's it for me.
So, for me, what you mentioned, I've done more story stuff. Not really going to give a progress update because,
right.
Spoilers. But I have done a bunch more story stuff. There are people quite a bit further than me, though, and basically, I've got all the thing, whatever. What are they called? The like bomb, magnesis, stasis.
Oh, runes.
Yeah, runes. I've got all of them. So
right, because you initially get like 6 of them or 5 of them in the thing, and then you get another one, right? Which we don't want to spoil what it is, but you have the other one.
Well,
okay.
The other one. I mean, it's not really worth not spoiling, but
yeah.
If you don't want spoilers, I'm not going to say it. But
right.
Well, okay, one of them's actually amiibo.
Like right.
That's where you access the amiibo through that, but you just enable that in the menu.
Yeah, but I
don't know why you need to enable it, but you just.
I guess if someone wants an amiibo-free experience, they can have it. I mean, pure.
And then you have this awkward empty box.
Yeah. Actually, I think what it does is it doesn't. I think that box just isn't there.
Oh, it's not okay.
Which
I had
nice.
Amiibo enabled pretty much the whole time, so I don't. Even though I've never used them, I don't know why I bothered. But anyway, your thing about experimentation earlier is actually kind of my biggest issue with the game because I feel like it's trying to promote experimentation, but at the same time puts too many limitations, making me not want to experiment. Because at one point going to oh, maybe this is a spoiler. Kakariko Village.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I mean, that's been in pretty much every Zelda game.
Spoilers. Kakariko Village is in this game.
Yeah.
Um, going to there, there's kind of like a straightforward path. Like you kind of follow alongside a river. That's if you're following from the Great Plateau using the waypoint, that's kind of what it would lead you to. But I thought it would be more interesting to like climb this mountain because the river's kind of through a valley. So I was
Right.
going to go around the valley and up top. And
are you talking about like the dueling peaks or whatever they're called, like that one?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
dueling peak. So I climbed to the top and was going quite far. I almost made it to Kakariko, but there was a guardian there, and I didn't see the guardian until all of a sudden there was a red laser on me. So I didn't have any stamina upgrades at that point. So I was pretty, and I didn't have a guardian shield, so I couldn't deflect, or a pot lid, so I couldn't deflect the laser. So I was screwed, and I died. And after all that took like 30 minutes or something to get from there.
Hmm.
So I was sent back to the tower basically because that's when the last autosave was. And I just said screw it, went the way it appeared to have wanted me to go.
Right.
And so that kind of makes me feel like you can do it, but you're not supposed to do it.
Right.
Because,
yeah. Exactly.
Because you're kind of punished. Like there's no way to fight the Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have seen the Guardian beforehand because if I could have seen it, I probably could have avoided it because I've had a couple other encounters with them, and if I see them ahead of time, I can avoid them pretty easily. Because if you see them before they see you, they're pretty easy to avoid.
Right.
They walk around fairly slowly. There's usually a bunch of stuff around, so you can like hide behind trees and stuff.
Hopefully there's tall grass as well.
Yeah, usually there's just something you can hide in. So if you see them first, and there was tall grass in that area too, so if you see them first, they're easy to avoid. But if they see you first, you're pretty much dead. And so just the fact that there's a guardian, or even I've just encountered enemies way too strong that now I can beat, but back then I couldn't. So it just feels like it's discouraging almost to go out of your way to explore because you're just going to encounter these things that are way too strong.
Right.
You can't beat. And yeah.
So here's what I have some interesting thoughts on that. I agree with you to some extent that it is frustrating, but what's interesting is that I've recently watched some videos sort of analyzing the design of Zelda 1, and the Zelda 1 had like the exact same mechanic essentially, where yes, you can go anywhere, but some enemies are going to get you absolutely obliterated, and it's kind of weird, right? Because it doesn't feel good to get punished by them, but at the same time, it's in my opinion, a kind of smart way for the game to guide you without directly telling you to go this way, you know? So I kind of have mixed feelings personally, but I totally get where you're coming from on that.
I mainly just wish there was like some kind of warning, like there's gonna be a guardian here, or like
right. I mean, and
like,
even if it was something optional, like they could put a sign there, because signs you can totally ignore them, but if you want to pay attention, you can. So something like that,
or like just make signs in the area, like have a bunch of burnt grass or something from the lasers.
Oh yeah, that would be smart. Yeah,
because like burnt grass, there's either going to be a guardian shooting lasers or there's going to be something that uses fire. So I'll get prepared and it's the guardian. Okay, so let me go into stealth and try to avoid it. Or if I can't have the ability to beat it, I don't know when you get those, because I'm assuming the arrows from the reveal trailer are how you beat them.
Yeah, I've seen a GIF of that, unfortunately, and yeah, that's the case.
Okay, so yeah, but I mean that was pretty obvious considering that's
anyone who watched
how the game was revealed.
Anyone who watched the first E3 trailer, that's
So yeah, and also the combat, I feel like it's not very well balanced. I like it, especially for some reason I thought the dodging was only going to be useful in those mini guardian things, so I never used it. And then I was watching Arms stream Breath of the Wild for a little bit, and he was doing dodging and stuff.
Yeah.
So after that, I started enjoying the combat a lot more after I figured out you can dodge. But I still feel that the weapons, I mean, I don't have an exact, I haven't counted like how many hits it takes or whatever, but I still feel like they all take about the same amount of time to break.
And yeah, it definitely feels similar, like regardless of the strength, you know?
Yeah, and like the weaker weapons should last longer because you balance them out. Like, I mean, I guess technically it makes more sense for a better weapon to last longer, but like in Skyrim, for example, I don't think weapons ever break in Skyrim, but every weapon has a weight, and your character yourself can only carry so much weight, and there's also a limit for when you can stop running and you're slowed down. So you have like a choice. Do you want to carry a lot of weapons, but they all have to be fairly weak, or do you want to carry a couple strong weapons? So I kind of wish it was like that here, where do you want to have a lot of varied weapons that are, or like, do you want to be able to constantly change on the fly which weapon you're using, but they're really weak, so you're gonna have to like dodge enemy fire and do a lot more hits? Or do you want to have some strong weapons, but you don't get like as much? No, I guess that doesn't work because you don't have the weight issue.
For me, so I agree. I personally have been hesitant to use my stronger weapons just because I'm like, oh, I know these are going to break, especially on weaker enemies, because I think, oh, wait, well, I mean, the weapon I get in return is not going to be as good as the one I used to kill them, so why should I bother using it? But actually, for me, the one potential benefit is that, well, I mean, I don't really need to use that strong weapon to defeat this not that strong enemy, I guess, but it's, at the same time, it's like I shouldn't feel so discouraged from using it. It's tough, you know?
And my story thing. What's my story thing? Oh, right. Never mind. It's pretty spoilery.
Okay.
I just realized it's a thing about the races.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, don't tell me because I know pretty much nothing about the story.
Yeah, it's just, I'm trying to think of a way to say it without spoiler, because it's not like a major issue. It's just kind of a canon issue, I guess. But yeah, I shouldn't talk about that. And I do have positives. Like once I figured out how to use the cooking, because that was it's kind of dumb how you cook. Like I can understand it, but I wish. So basically you have to go through menus and like hold the ingredients and then drop them in a pot. I wish you could just walk up to the pot and select cook.
Yeah.
And then choose your ingredients. But I do like the cooking system. Now that I figured out how to do combat, I really like the combat. So far I've liked all the shrines. There's only been one I didn't like, which was you had to use magnesis on these electric, well, actually it's just one on this like electric causing thing, and basically bring it from one end of the dungeon to the other on moving platforms that needed electricity on them to move. And there's one part where like there's 3 levels, kind of. Level 2 only has a treasure chest on it though. And I fell off, and so did the electric thing at the same time. And the platform was at the top level, and the electric thing fell to the second level, and I fell to the bottom.
Oh, gosh.
And there was no way to get the electric thing back. I
Did you just
tried.
have to? Did you just have to leave the dungeon and come back?
Yeah, and even if I got it back, I couldn't have got it back up to the platform to get the platform back down. So that kind of sucked. Luckily, leaving shrines doesn't bring back enemies. I'd assume if it's a combat shrine that it does, but the puzzle ones luckily don't seem to. So there was a mini guardian in that one, but it was fine. Something else that I like. I should have wrote this down. I had like a list of stuff I wanted to talk about that I liked and didn't like, and I know I'm forgetting something I didn't like too.
Is it the rain?
Oh yeah, rain. I hate that. So like it starts raining and you can't climb anymore.
Yeah.
And then there's like one area where one of the temples is, or dungeons, because I guess spoilers, there are actual.
Yeah. We've kind of known that since E3.
Okay, there are. I guess I won't say the number, but there's one area in the game that's basically nonstop raining. I'm guessing people can probably figure it out applying general Zelda knowledge, and the races are split between 4 areas. I'm sure people can figure out which area is raining, but you can't climb there. Plus, you can't climb when it's raining in general, so it's just annoying. You're like almost at the top of a mountain, and then all of a sudden it starts raining.
Yep.
Like, I know you can see rain is coming from the little predictor thing, but it's still annoying, and I don't check there very often.
Yeah, and I mean, for me personally, okay, I'm sorry about that annoying voice in the background. For me personally, that it can be more of an issue because I have the Pro HUD on, so I don't have that little weather indicator. Which, I mean, personally, I enjoy playing without that stuff for the most part, except with rain. The one thing I found has been cool is like if there's a tower or something and there's like you can climb if there's something over you, you know.
Yeah.
But which is kind of a nice touch, but I agree it's pretty annoying, and sometimes the rain feels like it lasts longer than it should.
Oh, I remember the other thing I like. I like how like in previous Zelda games, the overworld kind of feels like it's just a way to get from dungeon to dungeon, and there's like nothing to do, and all there really is like side quests, and the side quests always give you a rupee or a piece of heart
or a jar.
Yeah, or a jar. Or sometimes they give you something like the hook shot or a bug net or something, but it never feels substantial really, aside from I guess the piece of heart. But in this game, there's like puzzles within the overworld. Like there's Crocox. What are they called? The
Koroks,
guys from Wind Waker.
Koroks. Yep.
Koroks. There's I think 250 of them or something.
Yeah.
Hiding around the overworld, and most of them have some kind of puzzle. There's things like there's like a set of blocks, and there's one out of place, and you have to move it.
Which pretty easy, but they're cute.
Yeah, and then there's some like there's one where there's like these balloons moving around really rapidly, and you have to shoot them. There's one where you have to go through rings within a certain time. Those are just the ones I've seen. I'm sure there's others. But there's that within the overworld, which gives you something that's not just a piece of art. Piece of hearts aren't even in this game. So.
Yeah, it's just containers now, right?
Yeah, just containers, and you get them a different way.
Whoa, that's loud.
Oh, I didn't hear anything, so.
Nice.
Also, this is a warning for something I was kind of spoiled on. Make sure you have 13 hearts. Like now, it doesn't matter when you get those. Before you go for the final boss.
The final boss?
Yeah, before final boss, there's a mission you'll want to do, and beating it requires at least 13 hearts. I don't know, because there's some food that like give you temporary extra hearts. Yeah,
like those
yellow. I don't know if that counts.
Okay, hopefully they do, because I can easily get a lot of those.
But... yeah, you can get 30 hearts max apparently in this game. So
oh wow,
13 isn't too hard to get.
Personally, right? Wait, do you know if it's possible? Excuse me. I haven't done the numbers on this. But do you know if it's possible to completely max out both your hearts and stamina with every shrine?
I think so.
Okay, because my plan is to do all the shrines before the final boss, so hopefully I should be fine.
I've kind of been alternating between heart and stamina.
Mhm.
I just gave that warning because I've seen some people say that hearts are pretty useless in this game because like everything one shots you basically.
Mhm.
It either one shots you or does like half a heart of damage, so who
Right.
cares? But so they're just going all stamina. But you're gonna want hearts for something. I'm not gonna say what. I'm
Right.
not gonna say when.
Just
I'm not gonna
something.
say how you do it. Just gonna say you want 13 hearts.
Gotcha. Good to know for folks.
About the puzzle thing too.
Oh, got it.
That kind of also includes shrines because they're little mini dungeons. Like they're only like one room usually, sometimes two. I think there was a 3-room one, but the rooms are pretty quick and they're pretty much just like a single puzzle. So instead
Mhm.
of like having eight is like what Twilight Princess had, I think. 8 dungeons, you have a small amount and then a ton of like little puzzles.
Mhm.
So I think
I
that
personally
actually,
really like that formula.
yeah, I think that actually lends itself really good to the handheld component because like
Right.
I just beat A Link Between Worlds and the dungeons in that game are really short, like probably about 30 minutes.
Mm.
So I haven't done an actual dungeon in this game yet, so I don't know how long they are. But it would actually be really cool if they balance that out by making the actual dungeons normal Zelda length, and then the shrines are kind of as a you can do this while on the bus, and you have like 10 minutes to spare or something.
Mhm. And it helps that you can teleport right to them, you know? Because
Yeah,
if you discover one and you're like, oh, I want to go see this later, well, you can easily teleport to it.
yeah. And does the map? I forget. Does the map tell you if you've beat the shrine or not?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Actually, I don't forget. I just don't think I've ever left a shrine unbeaten.
Mm.
So
Quality.
yeah. Also, I have a horse, and his name's Reginald, and he's really
Oh,
cool.
that's great. I have Jellybean and Checkers so far.
I also have Bob, but he doesn't listen to me anymore, so I don't know where he went.
Oh, rip.
He never comes and I called, and he's not in the horse stable. He's not on the map, so I think he died.
Also, if there's a horse, if your horse is near you and you like save and quit, can you like rely on it to still be there when you boot the game back up? That I don't know. Like, do you have to put them away in the stable every time you end the game? I don't know how that works.
Well, Reginald's still just standing around on the map, like all the way on the other side of the world.
Okay, yeah, because I know it shows their location on the map, but it's not like okay, so they pretty much stay there. That's nice.
I think so. Also, I had an issue where I was fighting enemies, and my horse was there, and someone spooked him, and he started
Uh-oh.
running, and he ran me over and almost killed
Oh
me.
God, amazing.
So, don't have your horse nearby if you want to get into a fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was one time where I there was an Octorok and I shot an ice arrow at him, and as I was shooting, my horse walked up to me and I nearly shot him, but not quite. That would have been unfortunate because you can freeze your horse apparently.
My brother told me that his girlfriend was playing, and she doesn't play a lot of games, so she's not like able to just you push A to get on the horse. So she just pushes a button, and she apparently swung a farming hoe right into the
Oh my
horse.
God, amazing.
And that actually does something like in most Zelda games, if you swing the sword at Epona, it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, nothing happens.
I think
It'll kill
sometimes
your
Epona
horse.
makes a noise.
Right, but it's not really that interactive.
Yeah, she's just like.
But now your
yeah,
horse
you can
will
kill your
die.
horse.
You can't eat it. You can eat every other animal except squirrels. When you kill a squirrel, it gives you an acorn, which is kind
Yeah.
of.
And can you kill the cows? I haven't succeeded. Well, I guess the bull.
I haven't seen cows. I've seen bulls. You can kill bulls.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen cows, but they're domesticated, and you can't kill domesticated animals. So.
Memes. Yeah, it's a good game. It's a really good game, I think.
Yeah. We'll probably talk more about it next week, unless you have something else you want to say.
I think I'm fine. I think I will have made plenty of progress by then. Hopefully, I can say more. So
We also are hoping Tyler can be on because he has also been playing quite a bit. He was supposed to be on this week, but unfortunately got busy. But hopefully he can get on and we can talk about some Zelda with him because he is more of an open world person, so he can do a lot more kind of comparing, I guess, with other open world games.
right. I can tell you that the animal life very much reminds me of Far Cry. The only open world game I've ever beaten is Far Cry 3, and it had a ton of animal life, which acted very, I guess, naturally in this game. Feels like even more. Like the animal design in this game is really impressive. From the animations to behaviors, everything. It's really nice. I also love. Okay. Something really funny happened to me. I just want to share it. It's not a spoiler. So I shot and killed a boar, and he was a bit far away, and so a moblin walked up to him and started eating the meat. And I got very angry, so I shot, killed him, took my meat. That was that.
Well, I mean, the amount of times you kill moblins and take their seared steaks.
True. Yeah, I guess they've got to have a little slice of the pie.
Yeah, I think they've earned it.
Yeah, certainly. Also, moblins are scary. Those guys are tall.
There's another thing of the same species, I guess, that like seems to sleep all day, but it's like huge. Like it's probably just as tall as moblins, but it's also really fat. So I've been too scared to attack it though. So because you get the ability to check their HP, and he has like 2,000 HP.
Oh god.
So I think my best weapon is like 32. So I'm not gonna get in a fight with him.
Yeah, probably wise. Whew.
Luckily, he's asleep, so pretty easy to avoid. And I assume he's going to be really
also
slow.
The stealth takedowns are amazing. Speaking of sleeping, it's called like what's it called again? Like sneak strike or something. Love it.
I haven't done it on a sleeping enemy yet, but I have done it on there's like an area with a really tall mountain that you kind of climb up the side. There's like a not bridge, but like wood planks nailed to the side of it. And you kind of go up there. And every once in a while, there's just enemies on lookout. So it's fun just pushing them off.
Good stuff. I love using the Korok leaf as well to just sweep people off towers. It's amazing. I think that's it for Zelda.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So our poll.
We should be.
Well, last week
we should talk about more next week, I guess.
Absolutely. So last week's poll was. Would you remind me? I forget.
How many Switch games did you get?
And so we had not many
people
votes.
Voted. Rest in peace. 40% got 0. 40% got 1. So that's our victory. And 20% got 2 to 5. No one got more than 6 plus.
So yeah, I mean, I guess in hindsight, those people who voted 0 probably didn't get a Switch, unless my theory was right about people buying it now but not buying games till like Splatoon 2 and stuff. But
yeah, that's the only reason I included 0. So if you didn't get a Switch, yeah, it's something to vote on. Maybe I should have changed it to 0/didn't get a Switch or something. And this week's poll. I'll probably change the wording slightly of the question. But do you enjoy having options on which version of Mario you can pick in the spin-off games? So, yeah, that's just a simple yes or no. I think that's the first yes or no we've had in quite a while. Yeah. And plugs. Are spoilers that bad? An article by me on why I don't think spoilers are that bad. I just spoiled the article for you. Huh?
Oh, wow. That's very meta. If you read it, you'll know why that wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And follow us on VidMe. We appreciate the support we've gotten there for some reason. I still don't know why all of a sudden we started getting a lot of views, but thank you for that. hopefully we continue doing whatever you liked. Subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes and Google Play Music. You can listen to us while. Can you download podcasts through iTunes?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so you can listen to us like on the bus or something when you don't have an internet connection. Also, follow us on Twitter. I'm Double31 Noah.
I'm Dashy007.
Arms is at ArmsMXZ. Blazekick is BlazekickTweet. Nintendo Unleashed is Nin Unleashed. And visit blazekick.com for all your editorials on why spoilers aren't that bad. And we will see you next week.